You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. Thursday, February 19th. Most importantly, it is my lovely wife Jennifer's birthday today. I was almost said the number of year, but I don't want to get myself in trouble. My lovely wife's birthday. She looks like she's 25. She is a brilliant lady. The only fault she has is her choice of men, which was me, which was unfortunate. So happy birthday to my lovely wife. I want to get that out of the way so I don't get in trouble. We'll celebrate, later this weekend. Busy lives when it comes to this family as well. But happy birthday to Jennifer today. Welcome to Off Day with Matt Randazzo. A little later start than usual. But we're rocking and rolling. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. We are also live on X as well. X has been very, very good to us. If you're on either, make sure you're interactive. Make sure you're partaking in the show on YouTube. We have a great chat that goes on. Partake in that, ask the guest questions, complain about me, all of those kind of things. Plenty to get to on there as well. Make sure you're subscribing. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, shame on you. Get that done ASAP as we do this each and every morning around 10 a.m. A little later today, but around 10 a.m. I'm right here in the Quad Cities. We're also available on all the podcasting platforms as well. So whether it be whether it be Apple, Podbean, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you put in Off Day with Matt Randazzo. Listen to the show each and every day when you're working out or going for runs, when the days have been nice like they have been in the last couple days. However you listen to your podcasts, put us in, give us a listen, subscribe. We appreciate that as well. And of course, welcome to our viewers in Central Iowa. We are on each and every night at 7 p.m. on the WHO streaming app. We appreciate that. Really fun first guest for you fine people in the center part of the state of Iowa coming up in just a matter of moments. If you've missed the shows from this week, on Monday, Kyle Huseman, Orion's all-time leading scorer, Kyler Owens, and Olympic hopeful Tori Thomas joined us. Yesterday, we had Nicholas Bayer, Jake Brend, and Bettendorf's Michael Gordon. So great couple days already in the books. Looking for even more of that as we get rocking and rolling on today's show as well. Coming up in a matter of moments, we're going to be joined by Iowa basketball legend Aaron White. Whitey returned to Carver Hawkeye Arena on Tuesday night for the first time since he left Carver Hawkeye as a graduate of the University of Iowa. He's been playing overseas, a fantastic career, year number 11 of professional basketball, but it was the first time to get back to Carver Hawkeye. He picked a great game to come back to. Iowa beat Nebraska on Tuesday night, that first signature victory. We've got Whitey coming up in a little bit to talk about that experience, the new era under Ben McCullum, his thoughts on Fran McCaffrey and his love for Fran, all of that, much more coming up in just a few moments. We also have the TRAC champs in the house, a trio of Sherrard standouts. Carter Brown, Ryder Veronda, and Aydin Begeske will join us to talk all about their great season and now the postseason coming up in front of them. So excited about that as well. And then Marc Polite from Rock Island will join us in hour number 2 of the show. Rock Island co-Western Big Six champions along with Moine. I don't want to get in trouble. Both teams sharing for the championship. And now they both turn their attention, along with United Township and all the schools really, to the postseason. In 4A, it's loaded in that sectional. Rock Island will go on the road before hopefully returning for a sectional showdown coming up in a couple weeks. We'll get to all that with Marc Polite coming up in just a few minutes. So once again, thank you for joining us. Before we get to our first guest, Aaron White, some news and notes to get to. And I wanted to stay up watching the Illini last night. I had every intention to. It was only a 9 o'clock start. I fell asleep and I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning with my contacts in going, oh man. So I went and looked and wow, first and foremost, wow. And then I watched it this morning as I prepped for the show. 101-65 victory over USC, 36-point victory. 7 players were in double figures. The 36-point victory on the road in the Big Ten was the largest by a road team in the Big Ten since January 19th, 1946. That's how big of a victory it was on the road. It's the first time a Big Ten team has scored on the road 100 points and gone 50-40-90, 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90% from the free throw line. First time they've ever done that in Big Ten history. And then 7 players in double figures for a road team in the Big Ten hasn't happened in 15 years. So Illinois, as good as it gets. And this comes off, just losing to Wisconsin a week ago. So obviously they righted the ship against Indiana. But you look at Illinois and you look at them and their ceiling, they can beat any team in the country. When they play like they played last night, when they play like they played at Purdue, when they play like they play several times this season, they can beat anybody in the country. The Wisconsin loss worries you a little bit, the way they played in that game. But in general, or overall picture, they are as good as it gets. They are probably a 2 seed right now. They can get to a 1 seed. They got a lot of work to do, but they can get to that 1 seed. And obviously they got UCLA on Saturday out west, a winnable game. Mick Cronin and company is a mess right now. Very winnable game. And then they come home, they get a few days off. They get like 5 days off. Next Friday, a week from tomorrow, they host Michigan at the State Farm Center. That will be must-see TV, maybe the game of the year in college basketball. Illinois and Michigan next Friday in Champaign. We'll get with Jim Atson coming up hopefully tomorrow on the show to talk a little more Illini as well. Want to talk about Iowa State, the women winning last night 90-64 over Arizona State. It wasn't the victory that was important. They welcomed Addy Brown back to the lineup. She started after missing 11 games with a bad back. They didn't know when or if they were going to get her back. She comes back and in 20 minutes scored 6 points, 7 rebounds, and has 6 assists. She was outstanding and only played 20 minutes. And you can tell what she means to that team on the floor, but also emotionally and being back on the court. Courtesy of Jake Brendan, Cyclone Fanatic, here's Addy Brown after the game last night and how emotional it was finally being back on the court with her teammates.
It's definitely been hard. I really love the game. I'm a competitor. I don't think I've ever had to – I've been lucky. I've been blessed with not a lot of injuries, so I haven't had to miss a lot of time away from the game. So this was like the first time I kind of just had to sit back and just watch, but it was still like a different perspective. And something I'll take with me. You know, I want to be a coach, and I got to kind of see things from a different perspective and just cheer these girls on every single day. But, yeah, it wasn't easy.
The Iowa State women were one of the best teams in college women's basketball to start the season. And when they lost Addy Brown, they were different. They'd righted the ship. They'd played better, but they were a different basketball team. And we didn't know if she would get back, if she is back. And by all accounts, everything went good yesterday. It's a season-changing addition to that team once again. So Bill Fenley and company getting healthier and getting back to playing Iowa State women's basketball. We'll keep an eye on them. But good news if you're a Cyclone. Addy Brown back in the lineup last night against Arizona State. Some high school football news. Orion has a new head football coach. It's Matt McLean. He comes over from Davenport North. He was actually the offensive coordinator for Davenport West back in 2022 when they went 7-2. We're going to catch up with the new coach of Orion. First new coach for the Chargers since 2008. Of course, Chip Filler stepping down at the end of this season, had such a great run at Orion High School. So a new coach for the Chargers. We'll catch up with him maybe tomorrow, if not early next week as well. And then, of course, you wake up this morning, tons of talk this morning about the Bears. It looks like they're heading to Indiana. Both the Bears releasing a statement and the governor of Indiana releasing a statement. It looks like they'll be heading to Indiana. And as a non-Bears guy, I don't think it matters. I've texted several Bears fans, and it doesn't. Like you go back to New York, the Jets and Giants play in New Jersey. They're still the New York. I will call them the Indiana Bears as long as I can. I think it's and just to be me, but also it's not that big of a difference. It's like 19 miles from Soldier Field to the new site. It would be to go to Arlington Heights. It'd be 25 miles to stay in Illinois and go that way. So it's not that big a deal, but it's still, it's the Bears team. It's Chicago's team. It's Illinois' team. So it is different. We'll see where this goes. It shows how bad Governor Pritzker is, but and the politics in the state of Illinois is awful. So I think it's a bigger deal to lose the Bears if they do. We'll see what happens, but all signs pointing towards the Bears moving to Indiana, not far, but moving across the state border into Indiana as well. So a lot to get to on today's show. We mentioned our guests and really excited about this. Someone I covered a lot when he was at the University of Iowa, a friendly face to Iowa basketball, joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. So joining us now, that very familiar face returning to Carver Hawkeye on Tuesday. Aaron White joins us right now. Thank you for doing this, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When you hit me up, I was excited to talk to you and glad to be able to make it happen.
It's weird because why do you make me feel old? Because it feels like just the other day you were playing at Carver. To get back there, and that was the first time you were back at Carver on Tuesday night since you played. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was really cool. I joked. I did like a little thing with the media at halftime, and they were like, "Can't believe it's been this long since you've been here," but this is the first time back in the States, like during basketball season, So that's pretty much why it took so long, or else I'd have been in the game earlier. But it was really cool, man. The crowd was great. They treated me awesome. They let me, go on the floor and they cheered for me. So it was a cool experience. I was very happy to be welcomed back and show my family the old stomping grounds. And yeah,
there's two ways to look at it too, because I want to talk about the family side of things, but also what was going through your mind? Like when you pulled up, when you saw the building, when you go down those hallways, like it looks a little different, I think. But the memories I'm sure flooded back. What was that like for you?
Yeah, very nostalgic. We walked around like downtown and just like, my wife and I have so many memories there of different things we went through because we were together basically my whole 4 years. And then how much time I spent like around Carver and stuff. So it was just cool to be back, and hasn't really changed that much, like there's a lot of new buildings and stuff, like especially like when you drive over like through the football facility and stuff like that. So that was a little bit new, but in terms of Carver, it felt the same, and offices looked the same and everything. So it was cool.
It's funny because obviously Fran and his staff's not there anymore, but familiar faces. I know that I think Coach Diller was there. Coach Sparrow was still roaming around as always. Catch up, obviously building wise is one thing and memories, but to see people that and probably media wise, that old ugly Tom Kakert was probably roaming around. People like that, like to see people's a big side of this thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of familiar faces. I could name, 20 people that I saw that just like flooded back memories, but yeah, I was a little bit not nervous, but like I hadn't met Coach McCollum yet or anybody on staff. Obviously, I know Kyle Denning, because we were teammates. So he was a great job, like kind of bridging the relationship and hooked everything up. But met all the coaches. They were all super cool with me and welcomed me back, and even invited me to come back in the summer and work out with the guys. So it was really nice, like obviously my connection to the university is Fran, and since he's not there, it was nice to have a bridge, with Spear there, and Dillard was in to see the game. So yeah, it was cool. It was really good night.
You're obviously, we'll talk about a win here in a second, but your thoughts on just what you saw from the staff and from everything's new. Nicholas comes here all the time, and Nicholas Bear played for Fran McCaffrey, so that's his guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Fran's very close with you. Your thoughts of what you saw when it came to the new staff and the way they welcomed you, but just also basketball wise, what they're kind of rebuilding, I guess, if that makes any sense at the University of Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a basketball junkie anyway, so I knew, like, I followed McCollum, and I actually have a guy that lives close to me here in my suburb of Chicago that played for a coach at was it Northwest Missouri State? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he played for him there, and then went with him for his last year at Drake. So, you know, like, I've heard all about him. I followed him. I watched him at Drake, so I knew him as a coach. You know, so I have a lot of appreciation for what he's done and how much he's won. So. Yeah, it's different, but it's also just a different style, and you can tell that he's locked in. You know, like, the staff is locked in. They have their way to do things, and to see it up close was cool. You know, a little behind the scenes.
Big Ten basketball at its finest, a slugfest on Tuesday night. Let's talk about the game itself. What did you see? Obviously, defense was the name of the game. Your thoughts on the basketball game itself, and maybe even the celebration afterwards. I think you even posted a little video from where you were sitting of the crowd going down on the court and all those kind of things. What was that like, basketball wise? What are your thoughts on the actual game itself?
Yeah. First with the celebration, it was like, I'm so bad at, like, recording things or taking pictures, and I'm like, my kids are like, why are they running on the court, you know? And I'm like trying to explain it to them, and I was like, I should probably take a video, you know, because this is pretty cool. Like, especially with, like, I don't think it was the biggest crowd they've had all year, but it was a couple of people came up to me and said, like, this is the loudest that it's been, you know, all season, which was cool to be a part of. In terms of the basketball style, yeah, it was a little bit of a nasty game, you know, like in the 50s, defensive game. I think right now with where McCollum has the program, I think, like, he doesn't mind playing those games, you know, defensive battle, hard nose. They play it hard as heck, man. It's like fun to watch in that aspect, watching them compete. And you know, Nebraska's had a great year. I think I have a lot of respect for Coach Hoiberg. I talked to him before the game, and yeah, it was a big win. Really cool to see, and however you can take them, you know, it's a top 10 win, and on the home floor was big time.
Court storming, and I think I asked Nicholas on Wednesday, and he was part of one in 2019. Actually, the last time they beat a top 10 team at Carver was against number 1 Michigan. Were you part of any court stormings at Carver? Does anything pop into your mind when it comes to memories, celebrations, things like that at the University of Iowa?
There was one, but I can't remember the game. It was either Michigan or Indiana, maybe, was top 5. Because I can just remember in my mind, I can remember Melson, like, in the crowd, Wasabi, and he was, like, doing something crazy, but I can't remember the actual game.
Was it Indiana? Was it like a double overtime game against Indiana or an overtime game against
Indiana?
Indiana?
With, like, Zeller in them, it could have been them because they were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish my memory was better, but I can vividly remember Wasabi, like, in the crowd going crazy. So, yeah.
When you get to Carver, I mean, and I'll ask you, do you have top games? Do you go through and be like, this memory was not even my best game, but my best experience? Do you have, like, it's probably asking you, like, what's your favorite kid, which is an unfair question because there's so many great games, but what are some of the memories that pop out at Carver for you back in the day?
Yeah, I don't, like, it's hard to pick out, like, specific games. I'm even bad, like, when people ask me about my pro career, you know, like, going back in time, it's like, oh, do I just block out everything? Like, it's like, in a gross way, I remember the bad stuff, you know, like, you remember the bad losses, or, like, when you feel bad. Maybe that's a personality flaw, you know, but no, I mean, I obviously, like, remember my senior night was super emotional, super special. Kind of my last time playing there.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, like, it must have been my freshman year, NIT against Dayton. They kind of changed, we had a home game against Dayton. And I think actually we were maybe not supposed to have a home game, but there was something going on with Dayton, and they opened up ticket sales to basically, like, first come, first serve. And the crowd was just, like,
amazing,
unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. So I remember that game. There's obviously a ton of other big ones against, you know, like Ohio State and some road games where my family would come and see me. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of great memories, you know. So it's hard to like pinpoint a couple and just like pull them out, you know.
They're fun for me because I can remember I remember the Dayton game. I remember being there going,
Yeah.
and we couldn't shoot because it was owned by ESPN or whatever. It was a postseason. So
Okay.
we couldn't sit there on the baseline. So we had to sit, they had media seating for us. And I remember sitting there going, if this is what Fran McCaffrey basketball is going to be like, sign me up. Like it was loud. It was
fun.
crazy. Oh, it was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Because we weren't great that year, and it was like we kind of turned the corner towards the end, and I think the crowd, I mean, like the fan base was kind of getting into our style of basketball, and I think maybe at that time already he had already signed Woodbury, or everyone was just like excited for like the big recruiting class and all that stuff. So yeah, that was kind of a good turning point for when we took over. So
Aaron White joining us right now and off there with Matt Randazzo. Whitey, you look at it, and I don't want to call you old. You're not at all, but it's been a minute since you've been at Carver. And I think like you just posted on social media that you're going to be home, and like the outpouring of support, even like fans, but even media guys are like, I love Whitey. Whitey was my favorite. He was like, to hear those kind of things and to know that you years later left an impact both on and off the court, I think as well. What does that mean to you? Yeah. What does it say about the University of Iowa and the relationship they have with Aaron White?
Yeah, it means the world. I mean, it really does. Like I posted that tweet. I'm not huge on Twitter or social media besides, some stuff with my career, but it was like, it blew up, like all these people are hitting me up. All these people are texting me like, oh, you're back in town. And it was like, it's not that I forget. I mean, obviously I don't forget. It's part of my DNA, like going to Iowa and being a Hawkeye, but like I've been so long overseas and not in this world, so like to come back and be like immersed in it, it was like, man, this is cool. Like you just kind of forget about how big it is, how big of a deal it is, like when you're in it and you're playing, it's like the biggest thing in the world, like you're locked in, all you can think about is college basketball. And then like during my pro career, obviously I've been locked in on, like building my resume and getting to different opportunities. And obviously I have the family side of things. So it's kind of like, and then I come back in the summer and, college sports aren't going on. So I'm not really thinking about like, oh, like, let's see what Iowa basketball is doing or Iowa football. So to come back and just be like dumped right into it and get that much love, it was really special. Like even now, like people are still messaging me and stuff on social media and yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah. You left quite an impact both on and off the court. Aaron, when you look at last year, and I've asked Joe Wieskamp this and Nicholas and Mike Azell, former Fran guys that I know, like what it was like watching the transition or that go down. Obviously you're in Japan, you come home for the summer, those kind of things. What were did you even, I don't want to say you didn't know what was going on when it was going on, but what was your thoughts last year when there was, after so many years and such great memories with Fran, of the transition to Ben McCollum and how things kind of went down?
Yeah, I didn't know like for sure that they were going to make a change. I knew like the landscape of college sports was changing, and I had heard like rumblings about, like NIL money, Iowa compared to other Big Ten schools and, not drama, but, just like some behind the scenes talk about stuff like that and that they were maybe making a change. So, but I don't know, like, I think it's hard for me to be like unbiased because I love Fran so much, but like I can see, 15 years at one program is a long time. Like, and I'm super proud of what coach did there. And it's like, I have to put on two different hats, So it's like, you can see on one side, like, yes, is Coach McCollum like a great coach and a fresh blood and something different than what we had? Yeah. But I also like have so much respect for Fran that it was like hard for me to be like, what are they doing? Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No,
but
absolutely. Because it's a tough
Yeah.
spot for, I've talked to several former players that love Luca said the same thing on my show. I love the University of Iowa, but Fran's always going to be my guy. Let's talk about Fran for a second, because I was one of those guys that like, I was a Fran guy. I like Fran. He's always been great to me, all those kind of things. For yourself, I remember the article in the Quad City Times when Fran McCaffrey lands one of his first recruits, and it's Aaron White on the picture. I remember going like, all right, this is Fran's first guy. And then I start reading like all fans do, and I'm like, I wonder who we got. It was like, I wonder, every fan goes, who'd they get him over? You know, it's like, who do you have offers? You know, they want to be like, we got and
Nobody.
I was like, oh, but he identified you. Let's get to the good part of my question.
Yeah.
He identified you early. What does that man mean to you? Because it's not like you weren't, you know this, you weren't a 5-star recruit that chose Iowa over everybody else. He identified you and gave you that opportunity. What has Fran McCaffrey meant to all of this? 11 years of playing professional basketball and everything.
Yeah, you never know if I have any of this, without it. I had like 50 mid-major offers, like every mid-major you could think of, not the big ones, not the Butlers and the whatever you want to, Wichita State, not those, but like all the mid-majors that you can think of in the MAC and at the time, what was it, MAC and any of those ones. And it's like you have one Big Ten offer or one Power 5 offer. So maybe it doesn't really make sense, that I got this, but I think I was just like bullheaded enough to like, I can do this, like I belong at that level. And obviously coach believed in me and saw something. And yeah, it's like, I don't know if I would have my career that I had, or maybe I go to one of those schools and I don't play well. And it's like, I'm not really even a good college player. So now that I've been this long in professional basketball and all that opportunity and like the mix of relationships is like everything, there's a lot of talented players and it's like, do you get the opportunity? Do you have the right people around you? Do you have the support from the coach? Do you have the support from your family? All that is like, it plays a huge role into it.
Aaron, do you still catch up? I mean, I'm sure you do. Talk with Fran, stay in contact with Fran, doing great things out of Penn. I know Iowa fans don't know they've won a bunch in a row. They're third in the Ivy League. Only the top 4 make the NCAA, or not the NCAA tournament, but the conference tournament. Then you win 2 games, you're in. Your thoughts on Fran, what he's doing out in Penn, and obviously I'm sure you still are in contact and keep in touch with Coach.
Yeah, we text every once in a while, keep in touch. I actually played against one of his best players from when he was at Siena. So we took a picture together and sent it to him after the game. He's playing in Japan. So yeah, we're in touch and he's doing a great job. I'm happy that he's back home, like Philly's home for him and his alma mater, obviously. So it's a cool like story for him too, and like his brand of basketball is good for that league. And yeah, I think big things for him ahead, and I'm happy for him.
I know Iowa fans want to know about where's Whitey now. We've mentioned Japan like 10 times. In Japan right now, 11 years playing professional basketball, my friend. That's an amazing thing. Where are you at right now? Where's your game? Kind of update us on Aaron White these days. Yeah,
I spent like 8 great years in across Europe and played at the highest leagues in Europe and won a lot. And then it kind of came to a point where it was like my kids were getting older. I wanted more of a, not like a family atmosphere, but a little bit different style of league and stuff. Because some places in Europe can be a little bit intense, a little bit. The passion maybe goes overboard into something more than passion. So I was looking for a new place to kind of finish my career, and Japan's been amazing, man. It's been a lot of fun. The league is blown up. I mean, just this year alone, Jahlil Okafor came over and Stanley Johnson. There's like 4 or 5 NBA first-round picks in the league. So it's a great league. My team's doing well. We're 26-13, I think, right now.
Yes, sir.
So after the break, we'll have we'll have 21 more games. It's a 60-game season. This is my first year with this team, so it's been a little bit of a transition period, but everything's going well. I'm surprisingly enough more of like a shooter now than I was at school.
Don't say that. Like, come on now.
No,
you
really.
Hit plenty of big threes, though. You hit plenty of big threes back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't my specialty. It's more I shoot more now. And actually, my head coach was on the player development of the Washington Wizards, who drafted me. So it's kind of come full circle in terms of professional basketball. He was probably like third in line in the player development team, and he's about like 37. So we're similar in age, and we've kept in touch all these years. So kind of a full circle in terms of my pro career, playing for him after they drafted me. So yeah, no, it's going well though.
Lots of Iowa players over in Japan. Isn't like Anthony Clemens, Tyler Cook, Kriener.
Yep.
Like there's a good amount of people over there.
Yeah. That's us 4. Yeah. Like I said, everyone is like, I don't think people understand unless you're in it, like overseas basketball, to be honest. So it's like kind of vague, or kind of people have opinions about it. But yeah, I played against Tyler Cook actually 2.5 weeks ago. Obviously, close with Sapp and Kriener have played. I play against Sapp later in 2 months. Played against Kriener, so yeah, everything's. Those guys are doing well, and like I said, the league is fun, and yeah, no complaints, man. No complaints at all.
How long does Aaron White want to keep playing basketball? Obviously, still playing at a high level. I've talked to several guys, Jason Randall, somebody from my area, that I'm like, Jason, how long do you want to keep doing this? And he's like, as long as my body lets me do it, I love playing basketball. Your thoughts on how many years Aaron White wants to keep playing a kid's game? You're playing basketball for a living, my man. It's awesome.
I've never had a real job. It's like I have all these. Let's call material things. And it's like, I don't actually feel like I've ever worked for anything, because I just love it, it's like, obviously I've worked, but it's a different type of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, let's see, how long do I want to play? I think I told you off air that I have a contract with this team for next year, and then, that'll put me at 34. So I think after that, maybe another 3 or 4 years. So somewhere between 3 and 5 years. It's not really about, at this point, it's not really about like, me. It sounds weird, but like my kids are getting older. My oldest is 10, and I really don't want her to I want her to do a high school in the States. So that's kind of putting a cap, not a cap on it, but something I'm thinking about more seriously. So yeah, but as long as I'm at a high level and my body feels good, it's like, why wouldn't I keep playing? Because like you can always get if you want another job or to do something else, but once you take a year off of basketball, you're not going to get another high level job, So
yeah. We talked about this off there too, but what's life after basketball look like? Does it involve the game that you have played forever?
Yeah, probably in some capacity. Like I don't know at what level, or if it's coaching, if it's just I have no idea, scouting or whatever it may be. Like I just love it so much that it'd be hard to like totally turn it off and not do anything with it. But at the same time, I think like my family's moved so much, and like even though I've had a successful career, it's been like a lot of moving, so it's like some consistency and being in one spot sounds nice in one aspect, but yeah, something around the game, I just don't know at what capacity.
A few more for Aaron White before I let him get out of here and enjoy his Thursday back at home with his family and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. We mentioned college basketball's changing. I don't want to get into the whole big, like, where is like NIL transfer, all those kind of things. Just asking you, like, while you played, now that guys are making money and doing those kind of things, I won't say is it like jealousy, but your thoughts on that now? I'm sure you probably wish there was some of that back in the day when you were playing, but your thoughts on where it's come when it's come to college basketball, the transferring, all of those kind of things, and is it something you like and encourage? Is it something you're half and half with? I'm sure there's some pros and cons to everything.
Yeah, it's something I've thought a lot about, and I have a lot of different opinions about. I think I obviously think like the players should get paid in some capacity because of like what they're bringing to the universities and whatnot. I think the transferring is crazy. I think that it's totally guaranteed up front is crazy without any basically ties to anything. Like once you sign the deal, it's kind of is what it is. That doesn't happen in life. I think there needs to be some regulation in terms of contracts and maybe multi-year contracts and options in terms of like maybe holding a GPA or holding performance-wise. I mean, it's not unrealistic to ask for performance if you're paying for play. If you're a professional athlete and you're not playing, the team has the right to either cut you or trade you or, like things like this. So I think all of that is just things that need to be worked in the background. In terms of like my aspect, I'm not jealous of it because I don't think I have what I have now if it was different then, like who knows if I even have my 4-year career at Iowa, because like, how can you blame a kid that has a good freshman year that's getting these huge offers to go to another school? Like it's hard to tell a 19, 20-year-old like to be loyal to a coaching staff when you can have like life-changing money,
Absolutely.
So, and then at the same aspect, it's like I've been professional so long overseas. I'm kind of thinking of it from that point of view. Like, if you're making whatever $600,000-700,000 as a senior, like, are you taking, because like Europe is a ladder, like Europe, you start low, and then like, yeah, it might take you only 2 years to make like good money, but it's like, are you taking that low first year to get in the door? Like, are you taking like I don't know, 100%, like, I don't know what the percentage discount would be, like if you're making 700, are you taking 100 to go overseas and then try and build your career overseas?
That's a good
Or
point.
are you trying the G League? So it affects a lot of different things. And so it's like, I kind of look at it through that lens too. So I don't know. It's a weird landscape. I'm not envious of the coaches though, man. It's like, I have no idea how you recruit. I have no idea how you keep a kid. I have no idea how do you
coach?
build relationships.
How do you discipline?
Yeah.
How do you like, I don't want to say bench, but how do you, like, you're afraid
Right.
if you, hey, you're not going to start because of this, then they could say, okay, well, I'm going to leave. Like
Yeah.
here's my thing too, is like, it's weird. Like nowadays, good basketball players, I was never one of them, their biggest earning period might be of their entire life between 18 and 22. That might be their most lucrative time of their entire career. So it changes, like you said, like going back into the biggest thing is it's not real life. If you go back into the workforce, it kind of changes that a little bit. Wrapping up with Aaron White, I want to go back to the University of Iowa. Being at Carver and seeing it and meeting Coach McCollum, what would you say to Iowa fans about what you saw and maybe the future of Iowa basketball? Obviously, great environment, good crowd, good victory, all those kind of things. As a former player, you were excited about what Iowa basketball may be going towards right now under Ben McCollum.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously optimistic. I'm excited. I think again, they asked me, I think at halftime, about like a rebuild. I think that's how they worded it. Like, how do you see the rebuild going? And I told them, like, and I'll tell you the same. Like, now with what we just talked about with NIL and free agency, essentially, there is no such thing as a rebuild. Like next year they could be a top 10, top 15 team like that. It's not really a rebuild. It's not like you need to get your classes in order and have the kids like go through their bumps and bruises as a freshman and get better as sophomores. I think this is totally my opinion. I think like watching McCollum and what he does, I think he will mix that into the program. I think like that's something that he probably wants, is like relationships with families and to kind of get some high school kids where maybe some of these other schools are only going transfers. So I think he will mix that in there. But I think with like the resources that Iowa has, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to get some players in also to mix in with those and have a good team. Like they have a solid team this year, but a good team next year, and like just have the thing rolling right away. So I'm optimistic. I mean, I think he's proven at different levels, that he's won. It's not easy to win national championships anywhere. I don't care who you're playing against. Like everyone is working for the same goal. So in order to win, it's a credit to him. So yeah, I'm excited for it, to be honest.
I lied. I have one more. Bennett Sturts, watching him in play, and not just how good is he as a college player, as a guy who played professional basketball and has done it for a long time. Where do you see him in the professional career? I mean, a lot of people have him a top 15 pick in the NBA draft and playing in the league next year. What did you see from him, obviously as a college player, but then can you put your professional hat on and how he translates to the future as well?
Yeah, I'll say the first thing is like, obviously I know all about him and he's a big time name and big time player. I was in the practice gym with my kids and stuff, and they walked up. The team was starting to walk up to like get shots up, and he was the first one in there. And he came over to me and like shook my hand and introduced himself to all my kids and stuff. So that was like the number one thing. I was like, when I left, I was like, like he didn't have to do that, first of all. Like, I don't even know if he knows who I am. And then just to be like, you could tell like he has a maturity to him, like a presence to him. That was impressive. And maybe that makes me sound old, but I was impressed, like, because he's still a kid, like, so I was impressed with that aspect of it. And everyone I talked to said how humble and stuff he is. So that aside, that was impressive to me. But in terms of his play, if I put my like scouting hat on, what I like to do is I like to like look and like, if you look in the NBA, like who does he remind you of? that's the only thing I struggle with. Like, I can't really pick a guy out in the league that like plays like him, like that has the ball. He's extremely shifty. Like, his shiftiness is crazy. Like, his change of speeds is crazy. His passing is elite. His pocket passing. He draws so much attention on the floor that like it's not always easy to make. Like, his pocket passes are so like fluid for him when they're trapping two on him. That stuff's impressive. Obviously, he can shoot the ball at a high level, and he's got decent size. The only thing is like I can't pinpoint a guy that he looks like in the league. So yes, I know like all the mocks say he's a top 20 pick. Like, is he Austin Reeves? Is he like, I hate to pick out white guys, but it's like easier to compare him to them. Like, is he Tyler Hero? Hero's probably more of a one-on-one scorer, more athletic. Yeah. But I mean, like, now, I think 10 years ago, if you tell me he's a first round pick, I'd be like, there's no way. Like, because like 10 years ago, it was like you had to fit a certain mold, like you had to be like this tall and this athletic, and you had to have a certain amount of 40 and certain amount of wingspan. Now it's like, if you look at the NBA, you got all different types of dudes that are playing. If you can play, you can play. So in that aspect, I think he can play. I just think we'll tie it full circle. Like, is he going to be in the right situation? Is he going to be with a coach that like gives him the ball? Is he going to be with, like, is he going to get on a team with an aging superstar that doesn't, like, things like this is all matters. So I was super impressed with him. I think he has a ton of game. He's got a ton of stuff to his game, and I would be surprised to see him fail. I'll say that. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't do well.
I completely agree. Aaron White, I've enjoyed the heck out of this. Thank you for remembering an old guy who used to cover you back in the day. I've appreciated it. Don't make it another 11 years before you get back to Carver. Deal? Sooner next time?
I can promise that. I'll be back within 11 years for sure. 100%.
I appreciate you, my friend. Be good. And good luck with the baby that's on the way. Good luck with that. You're officially beating me. I have 4 kids. You're going to get 5. So you win. Yeah. You always do. We
have a lot of friends that have 4, and they're like, all right, like, yeah, you got it, man. Like, you won. So Spiro's the same. Spiro has 4, so he said the same thing. Yeah.
I love it. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate you. Be good. All right, that is Aaron White, former Iowa basketball great, back at Carver Hawkeye on Tuesday, and that was really fun just to catch up with him, but to see him back at Carver, a lot of fun as well. We got much more to get to. We're going to turn to the high school level coming up. Sherrard with another conference championship this year, a trio of Tigers joining us next right here on Off the Air. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? That fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high, each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfathers is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off There with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. High school basketball season is on the top of everybody's minds, both in Iowa and Illinois. The postseason officially here for the ladies. It starts for the guys next week. It's been a great season once again at Sherrard. The Tigers are TRAC champions, and they have high expectations heading into regionals next week, and we're going to talk with a trio of Tiger standouts right now. Aydin Begeske, Carter Brown, and Ryder Veronda joining us right now and Off There with Matt Randazzo. Fellas, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
Carter, I'm going to start with you because you're in the middle. We're going to start with that conference championship. The TRAC has some awesome history when it comes to basketball and the level of basketball they play. To clinch a TRAC championship on Tuesday night, what did that mean to your team and to Sherrard basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it gave us a lot of confidence. It's been a while since Sherrard has won 2 conference championships in a row, so that was a pretty cool feat to gain. And then as a team, it kind of boosts our confidence going into postseason, having that little edge over everyone else. So, yeah, it was a confidence booster for sure. Ryder,
you look at it, and this conference has had great basketball. Rock Ridge was the standard for so long. Now it's been Sherrard for 2 straight years. You talk about just knowing these guys and knowing these teams and knowing the guys you're playing against probably a lot. What's it mean to not just get that conference championship, but probably a little bragging rights around the area?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, growing up, we played Glenview, all those Black Hawk leagues. I mean, we played against all these kids growing up. So just to be able to, when we're older, be able to say that we've beat you guys multiple times, I mean, it's a great feeling to have.
Aydin, it's been a different season for you. I know you were injured, I think, back in December, so I haven't gotten to play. But to take part in senior night, I know, and then to score a bucket on senior night. What did that mean, especially with everything you had kind of gone through so far this season individually?
It meant a lot to me. I like that, the whole community is supporting and the guys are really helpful. I just supporting on the bench is probably my favorite part, but it was all right.
What kind of mindset does that take? Because obviously you want to be out there, you want to be playing. How hard was that, obviously, but then maybe to embrace a new role and to be part of this team in a different aspect has been different. But talk about embracing that role as a senior.
Well, it really sucked at first, but then I kind of viewed it from a different way and was like, I got to support the guys and make sure we go far in postseason.
Carter, what has that guy meant on the bench, yelling and screaming at you guys and being the can't get buckets like you probably like him to be getting, but what's he been like on the bench? And I know you guys are probably playing a little bit for him in the same way, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what we said after he got injured. Now every game's for Aydin Begeske, and you can always hear him on the bench. He doesn't stop yelling, so he gets the bench going, and it kind of gets us going in the game too.
Ryder, I want to talk about this season because it was an amazing season last year. You lost some big parts from it, but I knew you had a good core coming back. But people looked at it like who you were losing and maybe, I don't want to say doubted, but maybe overlooked a little bit or questioned if Sherrard basketball could do this kind of stuff again. What was your thought going into the season and confidence in, I guess, maybe getting back to the same level that you guys were at last year?
Yeah, we definitely knew we were going to be overlooked, but I also knew that we had younger guys like Brylan, Javin, and then some of the other seniors that we have, Jackson, Emery. I mean, we knew we were going to fill those spots that James, Rylan, and Brody Bender played. So we all just working as a team, filling those roles, and we're really able to – we're pretty cohesive together.
Ryder, was there a game or even a practice or a time this season that you guys knew that it was going to click again, that it was going to be another really good season? Was there a game or a point that gave you guys confidence that you guys could do what you're doing right now, win a conference championship?
Honestly, I'll say probably when we've played some of these bigger schools, like we played Limestone. which is a 3A school. I mean, we played Dunlap, another 3A school, and just beating them really gives us the confidence knowing that we can compete with the bigger teams and we can make a deep playoff run.
Carter, you look at this postseason now coming up. Obviously, a regional championship last year and the success that you guys had. How does that experience last year? I know it's a completely different season, different teams, all that kind of stuff, but being in that environment and having success in it, does that help mentally, maybe more than physically this time of year?
Yeah, definitely. Freshman and sophomore year, we were right there, but we couldn't get over the hump. And then last year, we finally made it over that hump and made a deeper postseason run to the Sweet 16. And coming into this year, being in that situation before, kind of, being able, and Ryder was too, being able to lead the guys to that, maybe past the Sweet 16 would be sweet. And having been there before really helps.
Aydin, as a guy, maybe another coach on the bench, what do these guys got to focus on as they get ready for regionals? What obviously playing good basketball right now, but what do these guys got to focus on as they get ready for the next week or two ahead?
Just really focusing on what coach tells them. I mean, our defense and just scoring a lot of points.
That always helps. So joined by the Sherrard Tigers right here and off there with Matt Randazzo. Carter, you look at this team and you look at playing basketball your best at the right time of the season. Kind of talk about that. You clinched a conference championship by outscoring a rival 15-0, I believe, in the fourth quarter. I think you gave up 7 points in the entire second half. Are you guys playing your best basketball right now? To have a fourth quarter like that's got to help. How do you feel heading into the postseason about the way you guys are playing on the court itself?
I don't think we've completely peaked yet, but, it starts with these practices this week and tomorrow. But, we need to play a full 32 minutes of basketball. First half against Mirko wasn't an amazing half for us. But, if we can put together what we did in the second half and every half that we play, we can be really good, and that would be our peak. But, we've been going really hard the last few days of practice and hoping to get a good win against Dixon tomorrow going into postseason.
Absolutely. Ryder, when you look at it too, it's got to work on the court. It's got to work off the court. And I think what Coach Johnson's done a great job with at Sherrard is establishing a culture. I know it's a word we use a lot. It's a cliche word, but culture is important. Kind of talk about this team off the court, this program off the court. I know the summers and the playing in the park and the trading card nights and everything you can think of. Talk about the culture that's being built and this team and the chemistry this team might have.
Oh, it's an amazing culture out here. I mean, Coach Oz does a great job in the postseason, like you said, doing those park runs, just really getting together with the community, especially with the little kids, because they look up to us so much that we're able to give back to them. Trading card night's another great night. We're able to give out hundreds of cards to these kids, and it really just to see their smile on their face, it really makes their night. And then the team chemistry, I mean, we've all grown up together. Some of us moved over here a little bit more recently, but I mean, the chemistry is amazing out here. I mean, we're all great friends. We joke around all the time, hang out all the time. It's really amazing.
Aydin, I want to talk to you guys about your head coach because I don't know if you know this. You guys are I'm getting older or you guys are getting younger. I think it's me getting older, but AJ could play. Coach Johnson could play. Does he ever take part in practice? Does he tell you about how great of a basketball player he was, or does he keep it quiet? Do you know how good he is, Aydin?
He never really talks about it. Was that for you?
Either one.
Well, over the summer, at open gyms, he'll play, and we can tell he's he has great passes. I mean, he keeps up with us too. So,
all right,
I mean, he seems like a good player now.
Story time for me, real fast. Your coach, ask him when you see him later today, is a 3-time C-League champion for East Moline Glass. Ryder, I think you probably know a guy that played with us named Todd Anderson. I mean, elite basketball players, including myself. Three championships, enough. I won't go on and on. Ask them about that later today, and you'll probably get them to laugh a little bit as well. I want to talk to you guys about the chemistry on this team, do some fun stuff. Carter, when you guys win or whatever, do you guys have a post-game tradition? Is there a place to go eat? Is there a spot you guys need to go to? Where's that at?
Well, a lot of times on the way home we'll get Casey's, and if it's a Friday night game, a lot of us will go get Poncheros.
Okay.
And if it's an away game on the bus, we always listen to music on the speaker. And before we get to the school, we listen to Country Roads. And then when we're getting off the bus, we listen to Outside Today.
Okay, so I think you blended two of my questions because I'm going to ask superstitions. So I guess I'll go into that. Ryder, besides like the music part of things, is this team superstitious? Are you superstitious when it comes to the game of basketball?
I wouldn't say that our team is crazy superstitious. Yeah, we do have some like playing music after the game. Before games, I mean, I love to eat a couple Oreos before a game. I mean, that always helps, but that's pretty much the only thing that I try to keep.
Hold on. You eat a couple Oreos. How does that start? You do know eating cookies before a game isn't a great idea, right?
I've been doing it for the past 3 years, so and it's been helping me.
How close to the game are you eating Oreos? Are you in the locker room hammering Oreos before you go out there?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
After school, we go home, and we don't have to be back until around normally 5 o'clock for home games. And so I get to eat a couple, maybe take a little nap, and then I'm ready for the game.
I visualized you like in the starting lineups getting ready to eat a couple of Oreos as you went on the court. That would not be good. We're joined by the Sherrard basketball team right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. All of you guys, I want to ask this question. It's one of my favorite questions. If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why? I'll go left to right, so we'll start with you, Aydin. If you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be and why?
Probably LeBron James, because he's a really good basketball player, and I think it'd be cool to talk to him.
That's a good answer. Carter, you're yours.
Probably like an old football player, like a retired football player, like Tom Brady or Mike Vick.
Okay.
I always love watching his clips.
All right.
One of them.
I like it. Ryder, what about you?
To go against Aydin, I'd probably say Michael Jordan because he actually is the greatest of all time, and just to talk to him about how dominant he was, I feel that'd be pretty special.
That was another question coming, and especially with basketball player asked this. So we'll just raise of hands. Best basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. Raise your hand if it's Michael Jordan. Okay, God, you guys are restoring my faith in you, in the youth of America, by answering that question correctly. Thank God you did that. Carter, are you a better basketball player than your old man? And at what point did you become a better basketball player than your old man?
Definitely, and I probably started beating him in 1v1s like freshman, sophomore year, somewhere around there. But he was all right in high school, but I think I'm better.
He was all right in high school. Okay, so if I ask him, what will he tell me?
He'll say it's close. But he'll say he's better.
He knows better now. He knows better. As I let you guys go, Ryder, just enjoying the ride. So you guys did a great job last year. I know you enjoyed the heck out of it, but being seniors now, it's the last go around. Do you guys, I want to say think about it because you don't want to dwell on it, but do you have in the back of your mind that this is senior night or this is the last time playing here or there? Have you kept that in your mind as you guys have navigated through the season and as you navigate through the next couple weeks?
I mean, yeah, it's certainly always going to be there. Whether you're trying to think about it or not, you're going to know it's your last couple of games. But I think for me personally, just playing as hard as I can and just doing as much as I can for the team, I mean, it really helps not to think about it because if I work as hard as I can, play as hard as I can, there's nothing I can do about it. So really just working hard, it really helps me not focus on it.
Carter, are there goals to this basketball team? Do you guys say we need to do obviously a conference championship was probably a check of a box. Do you guys have goals as you move forward? I'm sure you do, or is it game in, just one game at a time type of stuff that the coaches love to hear?
It's more of a one game at a time. You know, every game's our biggest game of the year. Every practice is the biggest practice of the year. Just keep going through those games, doing the little things right, and go through every single game, hopefully get a win.
Aydin, I'll finish with you with you get to throw everybody under the bus. I would love to ask the question. You talked about chemistry being good. Every team has class clowns in a good way. I'm not saying in a bad way, but like a goofball or somebody that's going to make people laugh. Are there any class clowns on this team? And if so, who would they be, Aydin?
Most definitely there's class clowns. I'd say I'm trying to make people laugh a lot of the time, but I feel like all of us are kind of class clowns a little bit, except Joe, though.
Except who?
Joe.
Ryder.
We
call him Joe.
Okay. Why do you call Ryder Joe? Is it appropriate?
His real name's Joseph. Ryder's his middle name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, of course, you guys just call him Joe. That makes sense. Why is Joe serious? Is Ryder, now I'm calling him Joe. Is Ryder too serious sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Aydin talks a lot of trash at practice, so it might get a little intense sometimes. But.
Ryder, it's okay to be serious in life. You'll probably be their bosses someday. That's why it's important to be serious every once in a while. Guys, I've appreciated this. This has been a bunch of fun. Remember, ask Coach Johnson about the not one, not two, but 3 C-League championships that we won together. It was a special time. So I appreciate it, guys. Best of luck the postseason. Hopefully we talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That is a trio of Sherrard Tigers. A lot of fun. And it's been a really good – I talk about culture with high school basketball. Coach Johnson's done a great job. And you could tell back when we played goofy C-League basketball that he was an elite coach because, like, he would coach us while he played. He never shut up. So I'm excited to see what Sherrard can do this postseason as well. We got much more to get to. You're watching Off the Air on a Thursday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. High school basketball, full swing when it comes to the postseason. The guys start in Illinois next week. We had Nesto Hoops on last week. We were talking about what it looks like in 4A. And there's a Rock Island sectional, where things go, and all those kind of stuff. It's a loaded regional for both Rock Island, Moline, United Township. It all starts next week, and it starts with the Western Big Six champions going to Manuka, the co-Western Big Six champions. Marc Polite joins me right now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I don't want the emails from Moline people, so I got to make sure the co-Western Big Six champions. Coach, always good to talk to you, especially this time of year. How tired are you?
Yeah, I mean it's a grind, this time of year. We always say the dog days of January lead to like the weary days of February, to where you're just pushing through and hoping to be able to establish some momentum and then ride that momentum out into the postseason. And I feel like we've been able to do that. We're playing some good basketball right now, and we're healthy. We got guys in the right mind frame, and that's the time of year where you just kind of ride the wave and see how far you can go.
Coach, you get that Western Big Six championship, a part of it, a claim to it. What does that mean? I know that there's lofty goals when you look at this team, every team, and they talk March Madness and all those kind of things and regionals, but it's the Western Big Six, and you know what it's like in that conference, in that league. You played in that league. Anytime you can snag even a claim of a Western Big Six championship, you got to enjoy it. What does that mean for you guys to get that last, what was it, Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's big. Like, we're it was one of our major goals this year, was winning the conference. This is my 5th year here at Rock Island, and I finished second 3 times. So it's like we've been close so many times, and to be able to get over the hump it's a great feeling. But I also say this: conference championships is about consistency. There's different goals that you have throughout the season. Postseason is about getting hot and playing your best basketball at the right time. But conference championships are about how consistent can you be on a night in and night out basis, especially in a league like the Western Big Six, where you have teams that are gunning for you. We felt like we got everybody's best punch when we show up. We know teams are going to play well. They're going to be well prepared, all of those things. And so for you to be able to answer the bell that many times, to put yourself in position where you're at the top of the conference, says a lot about the consistency of our players and our program throughout the season.
Coach, you mentioned being able to play your best basketball at the right time of the year. That's this time of year. What do you like about your team playing well down the stretch? What do you see for guys right now? And you're right, it's about getting hot, not even getting hot, but playing at your best. What do you see right now from your guys as you get ready for the postseason coming up next week?
Well, we figured some things out. We came into this season with we lost a lot of leadership from the previous season. Last year's group was such a cohesive, we used to laugh as a staff. They almost ran themselves. This year's group, no chance to run themselves. They're all over the place, their personalities and just all the different components that come about of being able to put together a team. And a lot of times people think this game of basketball, you just collect 5 talented guys and roll the ball out there and tell them to figure it out. But there's a lot that goes to chemistry and style and putting guys in the right positions and getting them to understand roles and all of those things. And so for us, we've had to go through that process. We had some hiccups and some trip ups here and there. And largely it's because of those type of things, just dealing with teenage boys and all of those things. But we feel like we've got a lot of that stuff settled. I feel like our guys are understanding, what we need from them from a day-to-day basis. And now they're able to perform those tasks and duties to the best of their ability. That's really all we ask. We as a coaching staff, our job is to put them in position, and the players got to be able to go out and play and execute. And I feel like that execution level is continuing to raise as we get closer to the postseason.
Coach, every basketball coach wants a 1,000-point scorer. You're collecting them over there at Rock Island. You got 3.
Yeah.
And 2's been on the show. Devin Marshall and Arthur Abbey have been on the show. I got to get Zulu on here one of these times soon. 3 of them. And individual stuff is great. And I know that's not what you preach because it's team basketball. And I think they would say the same thing. But to watch these young men get milestones, I think 2 of them maybe did it together or real close to around the same time.
Yeah.
What's that been like to watch these guys kind of check off not just milestones, but get victories along the way and be team guys along the way as well?
Yeah, it's really that's another testament to consistency when you think about it. I've seen a lot of good players in my career, and I've only had so many 1,000-point scorers, and we have 2 that did it in their junior year on top of that. And so that's a testament to their consistency and their hard work and their commitment to being the best that they can be, and them being blessed with a little bit of this natural talent too. I think all of those components come into play. And for us, the way that we play, we got to have guys be guys. They gotta perform. And it's a good feeling when you know that when you step on the floor, you got 3 guys that can put the ball in the basket and create things for themselves and for other people. It does make coaching a whole lot easier. But yeah, we were proud, and we don't shun and personal accolades, but they have to do it within the confines of the program, and that's something that we always preach on a regular basis. We don't mind individual achievement as long as it's done, through the program and through the system that we've created and playing the way that we want them to play. And those guys have bought into that and do that. So it's exciting. It's pretty cool to get a chance to see. And I know their families and different ones were really excited as well. But I tell you what, man, After it was over, I'm like, finally, because we're counting down and counting numbers and all that, and I'm getting text messages. I'm like, dude, all right, we got it, got the 1,000. Let's get back to work so we can get focused on finishing out this season strong.
Rock Island head coach Marc Polite joining me right now and off there with Matt Randazzo. Coach, I want to talk about what's to come. Obviously, the brackets come out. There was no really like easy path. I mean, what you guys and your regional sectional are loaded when it comes to what you guys have. You guys go on the road to Minooka, knowing that if you win a regional, you get to come back home to the Rock Garden and get home for the sectional. It's Bradley Bourbonnais and then a really good, most likely really good Pierre Ridgewood team out there for you guys. When you see your path, what first popped in your mind? And like I just said, it's never easy. It's 4A basketball in the state of Illinois. There's no easy route to anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And you got to really, I know it sounds cliche, but you really do have to approach it a game at a time. Crazy things happen. You might be planning to play one team and an upset occurs. And so you've done all this prep for one team and you don't even see that team. All of these different dynamics come into play. And the reality of ours too is that we have such quick turnarounds. I mean, our regional is Wednesday, Friday. I mean, we only have 1 day prep before we have to get on the road and head back to Minooka. So there's a lot of components to it. But the reality is that, you gotta be ready to play, and our kids gotta have quick turnarounds. You win one night, you got to get ready to celebrate the highs and then get back ready to play again. It's almost like how you feel with the NCAA tournament. It's the exact same thing. And so you got to be able to repeat performances at a high level. And so, but our sectional is tough. It's, you look at the different ones throughout the state, and all the prognosticators and all that have said, like, this is going to be a tough one, with us, Normal Community, Peoria Richwoods, which has been 3A for the past however long, jumps up to 4A this year, and now they're included in our sectional complex. But this gives another storied program into the mix. This really makes for some quality basketball. So if you're a basketball fan, I mean, this is great, But if you're a basketball coach, you're stocking up on the antacids and all that stuff, because you just know that, like, it's going to be tough, well-coached teams going at it every single night.
Coach, you look at it and you tell and prognosticators, and we do. We're like, oh, this could be great. It could be Rocky Moline or Rocky UT and Rock Garden. How do you guard against your boys doing that? Because it is human nature, and maybe they have done that. Yeah. But how do you mentioned it's Bradley Bourbonnais first, and it don't matter what could happen next week if you don't take care of business on Wednesday. How do you guard your guys away from those kind of things? Or do you?
Well, no, I do it. Like we meet stuff. You kind of tell by my personality. Like we deal with stuff head on. Like, I'm not the type to sugarcoat it. Like, we say what it is, and I'll flat out tell them, stop it. Like, we got to be focused on this. And that's something that and I'm big on messaging. I feel like with our kids in today's times, messaging is important. And clear, consistent messages over and over and over and over again then provides influence. And if I can influence the way that they think about things, then we can start to get them pointed in the right direction. But to say it one time and to leave it, a lot of times it doesn't stick. Like, for us, it's about consistent messaging all the time. Every game, every practice, we got to be who we are. We have to play at our best. We got to be focused on what it's going to take to win those games. And that's really what we do. And that's part of our process. And if we don't we try our best not to allow them to stray from that thinking. But they're still kids, and we know that. And but they know when it comes to me and our conversations, they know what I'm going to be saying consistently. And I feel like our boys need that to be able to stay focused on what the big plans are.
A few more for Coach Polite before we let him get on his day. Coach, you look at, and there's a really fun matchup in the first round with United Township and Moline playing. And people have asked me, a couple people have said, like, is the league good this year? Is the Western Big Six, is there a lot of parity? Is it down? And I said it's the Western Big Six, and you see teams 2 times and you scout, and the coaches know each other, and they know tendencies, and they know what Coach Taylor likes to do. He knows what you like, and Coach Say, and all those kind of things. Is it nice to get everyone wants to see those fun matchups in the postseason, but is it nice to get out of the league because there is such familiarity to what goes on?
Absolutely. Like I'd like to have stayed home, from a proximity travel standpoint, but to have to go to that regional and possibly play a UT or a Moline again in that environment, you want to get away and hopefully see them in the next round. You can't escape them totally, but getting away and getting a chance to just, um, focus on some different things and have a different type of prep. It's a little bit easier, not easier, but it's just different. But I'm telling you, like that regional is going to be tough with Moline and UT playing that first round and normal community waiting. Oh man, like if I'm a basketball fan of the Quad Cities, like I got my popcorn and I'm there. That's going to be some good basketball, and I really feel like UT is playing really well right now. They've had some little bit of ups and downs, but right now we saw them last Tuesday, and man, I was thoroughly impressed just by them being able to really put it all together. And man, like that's going to be a tough regional, and Moline's got. I think Sean knows that too. That's going to be a tough first round game to open up the postseason play on their home floor. That's going to be one that is going to be tough. So, but we got to focus on what we have to focus on. We have our own path that we have to chart, and we're going to stay consistent to our processes and all that stuff. But as a basketball fan, which is what I am, I still like to follow and watch and really enjoy just the matchups and all the fun that happens with good quality Quad City basketball.
And Coach, that's what I want to end with, because you played in the league, you played high school basketball, you remember those days. They weren't as long ago as people want to think. Coach, it wasn't that long ago. Don't go get carried away. But and you love the game of basketball. How do you give your boys the message of what they get to experience the next couple weeks? Because you got to do it, and now we're you old guy. Like back in my day, we did. But you remember, those are memories that you carry on forever, and they go fast. Unfortunately, not too fast. Hopefully, some wins along the way. But do you find yourself getting that point across to your boys that this you're going to get to experience, enjoy it, whatever it is, enjoy it, because you're going to be old like us someday talking about it on a talk show that I started in my loft.
I do that all the time. We send that same. We just talk a lot about the experience. You think about this opportunity that we get to be able to play this game that we love, and to be able to do it with people that we care about, and to do it for a school and a community that we love and that loves us back. Like, it's just an awesome experience, and for us to be able to cherish these moments, because they don't last forever. And regardless of where you're at, we have some young kids that are with us, sophomores and juniors and seniors, and wherever you're at in that hierarchy, when you get to that senior year, you realize just how special it is. And so, like, we had our senior night on Tuesday night, and to see, some of these guys that I remember when they were those young, impressionable sophomores in the locker room, and now they're walking across that floor with their parents and all that, and now that it's ending, it really puts it all into perspective. And these are special times, and you can never recreate it. I played Division I basketball. I've had a chance to play at Carver. I've had a chance to play at Assembly Hall. There's nothing like high school sports. You can't recreate it. The relationships, how personal it is. You could play at college, but it's not nearly as personal as playing for your school, having your student section be with kids that you go to class with and you see every day and that you grew up with. All of these components is what makes high school basketball so special. And so I just hope that they acknowledge it at some point. But, we always have those guys that come back and say, man, I miss it. Like, man, I miss it. We have guys that are playing college sports now. Man, I miss it, because there's nothing like these opportunities that they have. And so we try our best as a staff to make this as memorable as possible for them, that they have a great experience and fond memories that they can keep for the rest of their lives.
Coach, I always enjoy the conversations. I hope I can bug you again several more times because if I can, that means you're winning. So if you get a text message from me, that means you probably just did something really good. Get to work, get a big old coffee. Make sure you get another big old coffee.
There we go.
And enjoy the weeks ahead. We'll catch up soon. I appreciate you, my friend.
All right. Take care.
All right. That is Marc Polite, head coach of Rock Island, the co-Western Big Six champs. I don't want to get in trouble for my friends over at Moine, the co-Western Big Six champs. They have a interesting road in the postseason, some really fun basketball. And yes, it's unfortunate maybe Rock Island fans got to travel next week to Minooka a couple times. But to get through that and get some big sectional games back at the Rock Garden should be a bunch of fun if they can get the job done. And I think they got a good chance to do just that. We got much more to get to. More high school basketball right around the corner. You're watching OTA on a Thursday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. Thursday, February 19th. If you know Jennifer Randazzo, my lovely wife, wish her a happy birthday today. She turns years old. I'm not going to say. I'm way too smart for that. She looks like she's 25, and that's the truth. So happy birthday to my lovely wife once again. It's interesting time today. You wake up this morning and so much talk on social media is about the Chicago Bears and where they're going to be located in the future. Of course, Arlington Heights is a possibility. Northwest Indiana, Hammond, Indiana, obviously the other opportunity as well. The state of Indiana passed a bill making it more intriguing and I think more possible for the Bears to jump over the state border and be in Indiana. So it looks like as of right now, Hammond, Indiana is the strong favorite to land the Chicago Bears. So would love to know on social media your guys' thoughts. You look at this, and I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. The one comparison is if you go out to New York and their stadium is in New Jersey and both New York teams are in New York, I believe. It's just the Bears and Illinois and Chicago. I mean, they all go together. It's weird to me. I will be the anti-Bears fan that will call them the Indiana Bears as often as I possibly can. It's weird. It kind of shows the dysfunction again of the state of Illinois. Not that anybody who's watching this in the state of Illinois needs me telling them that, but to lose that team, and yes, 19 miles from Soldier Field to Hammond, Indiana, and like 27 to Arlington Heights. I get all that, but it's like me being a Lions fan. The Lions moving to Toledo, Ohio, not far away, just over the border in Ohio. It's a Michigan team. It's the Detroit Lions. They should be in Michigan. The Chicago Bears should be in Illinois. They should. It's strange. It's different. It's weird. But a lot of things you see this morning has the Bears heading to Chicago. Now, plenty of people have already texted me throughout the day and said it's just a ploy. It's a way to get what they want from the state of Illinois. And that may be. It's not said and done. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination. But as of right now, the strong feeling out there is that the Bears will be moving across the state line to Indiana. Schefter just tweeted, Chicago Bears' endeavor for a new stadium took a meaningful step on Thursday, opening the door for the storied franchise to leave Illinois and potentially building a new dome stadium in Northwest Indiana. I am intrigued by the dome stadium part. That is very intriguing to me as a Lions fan who doesn't want to watch his team play a January game outdoors at Soldier Field in negative weather. With that being said, it didn't affect it. I mean, the Lions won for the 8th straight time over the Bears, if anybody's counting. I am. But and another thing I wanted to bring up, the win totals are up on DraftKings for the 2026 season. And now these will change. Draft, free agency, all of those kind of things will change. You know, like you look at the Packers last year, they landed Micah Parsons and their win total in Vegas went up and down. So went up, obviously. So, but as of right now, in the North, the Packers over under is 10.5. The Lions over under is 10.5. The Bears over under is 9.5. And then the Vikings is 8.5. I mean, they won 9 games this year with no quarterback. So it just intriguing to me. Yes, you look at most books and the Lions and Packers are favored to win the division over the Bears. I do think there's regression. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just think you can't repeat the dramatics. That's being very nice. The dramatics of the Bears. I think somebody said they won 6 games in which they trailed in the final 2 minutes this past year. And then the schedule's just more difficult. So with that being said, the flip side for the Bears is you're going to be in year 2 of an offense with all those young pieces and everything else. So I understand that. And defensively, they weren't good last year. 23 in points allowed, 25, I think, in overall defense, something along those lines. That can all get fixed in the postseason, or in the offseason. So again, we're talking about the 2026 NFL season on February 19th. So I understand that. I get that. But they came out this morning. I was intrigued by them. And as of right now, the Lions and Packers are both, their win totals are higher in Vegas than the Bears, which is intriguing for me. One last Bears note, Jeff King, former tight end in the NFL. I remember him playing tight end. Is now the new assistant GM for the Bears, replacing Ian Cunningham, who left to go to the Atlanta Falcons. So a new what'd you say, assistant for Ryan Poles, a new right-hand man, if you will, when it comes to Ryan Poles, already with Chicago already getting that promotion to the assistant general manager. So very intriguing stuff. We'll talk more about it a little bit tomorrow. Tossing around a few ideas. I'll put a poll question up tomorrow probably. Like, does it matter? In fact, I'll do it right now and then we can talk about it tomorrow. Does it matter that the Chicago Bears, if you're a Bears fan, does it matter to you that the Bears might, if they move to Indiana, would it matter to you? Because I've had several friends say they don't care. And I get that. I mean, if you get some sweet new stadium, nobody cares if it's located 15 miles into Indiana or 10 miles into Indiana, whatever it might be. So I get all that. So, or if you're that old school person that, I think the dumb song they sing is Bear Down Chicago Bears, but it's like the pride and joy of Illinois. You're not in Illinois anymore. So I don't know if that's the case. So anyways, we'll put that up there and get you guys a an update when it comes to or that tomorrow on the show as well. As for today's show, we want to thank Aaron White for joining us. Legendary Iowa basketball player, now playing his 11th season of professional basketball. But because of that and traveling around and not being available, he hadn't been to an Iowa basketball game since he graduated, until Tuesday night. Picked a good one. They knocked off Nebraska, Court Storm, all of those kind of things. Whitey joined us. If you missed it, if you're an Iowa fan, if you're a Big Ten basketball fan, go back and check it out. We talked to him all about Ben McCullum, the return to Carver, but Fred McCaffrey as well, and also the future of Iowa basketball and the future of college basketball. Had great insight when it came to the new age of NIL and transfer portal and all those kind of things as well. So great to catch up with Aaron White. If you missed it, please, I'll encourage you to go back, check it out. Well worth the listen. Also got to talk to a trio of Tigers from Sherrard. The Tigers winning their second straight TRAC championship. They'll open up the postseason against, I didn't put it in front of me, against the winner of Monmouth, Roseville, and Princeton coming up, I think, Wednesday of next week. So they do have one more game. I think they play Dixon or something like that before they get to the postseason. But congratulations to them for winning the TRAC outright. Fun to talk to those guys. Go listen to that as well. And then Marc Polite on the show. And I've already gotten a Moline fan that's texted me, why don't you have Sean Taylor on? We probably will. It was easy. It was easy for me to get Marc Polite. It was the easy one to grab, and we'll talk with Coach Taylor as well. But Rock Island goes into that Rock Island sectional with big hopes and aspirations. And not going to be easy. They go on the road to Manuka to take on Bradley Bourbonnais first, and then it's a quick turn and most likely a really good Peoria Ridgewoods team. But if they can go on the road and get that done, they'll host the sectional the following week. So also, a lot of high school basketball the next couple weeks. I cannot wait. It's so much fun. A great time of year. Good luck tonight to several local teams looking to win a regional championship. I just had it in front of me. I know that Rock Island in 4A and Moline in 4A were all looking to win a championship tonight. So give me good TV at its finest, isn't it? Tonight, locally, we got, and the boys on the road to state as well, too. But in 4A, it's Peoria Ridgewoods versus Rock Island for the girls' side. Manuka versus Moline as well. Sterling will take on Ottawa looking for a regional championship. Really good matchup when it comes to Morton and Galesburg. That is such a loaded regional and sectional that the state championships coming out of that area. I believe in 3A. In 2A, Riverdale and Sherrard doing battle once again. I called their last game for MC22. Two really good head coaches with Jay Hatch and Doug Swanson going head-to-head as well. And then Alleman and St. Bede in 2A, A-Town and Brimfield in 1A, and much, much more. So good luck to all the teams in our area. Good luck to the wrestlers at state in Iowa. We'll have much more of that. Also, hoping to have Dan Knight, who's retiring after 20 amazing seasons at Bettendorf, join me next week on the show after all this wrestling state stuff gets done. Probably Monday of next week as well. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. We'll have a jam-packed show for you once again tomorrow, and get you through the weekend. It's already Friday. Coming up tomorrow. So once again, happy birthday to my lovely wife, Jennifer. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys again tomorrow.